Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode here in NHL 21. So in last episode we had the draft and the re-sign stage, and we decided to draft Tristan Wall at number 4 in the draft. We did move up a couple spots, giving up Berggren. I think it was a second round pick, or 7th overall pick, and we also gave up Nemesnikov, so I think it was somewhat worth it. And yeah, anyways, now we're up here in free agency. We did let go of a lot of veterans so we could play our young guys for the start of next season. I have a few comments I want to go through first before we get into our free agent signings. So the first one is from Joe Mercurio, who says Colin White sims well with Lorcan. So I didn't actually look and see, but I believe Colin White has like a 6-year deal with the Sens or something like that, so we might not be able to go after him till like for a few seasons, but maybe he's somebody we eventually bring in. Like, let's see, where is he? Oh, he's right here. High top 6, 85 overall. Yeah, he's signed for 4 years. I don't think we're going to be able to trade for him right now, so we might have to wait till he's a free agent if the Sens don't re-sign him. So, because he's got a decent chunk of trade value, and I don't think we really have the assets anymore to trade for him. So, and the second comment is from Sir Sink again. He says definitely play Wall in the AHL to start the season, but keep a close eye on his progression. And if he at any point switches from a depth D to a top 6 D, then call him up. Great job on the draft as well. So yeah, we had a really good draft in last episode, and we definitely will be starting to play Wall in the AHL, as you guys also voted on the community tab. That 80 or not 89%, 72% of the votes were saying playing him in the AHL. So we're gonna do that for this upcoming season. I'm actually surprised we actually got 29 votes on that poll, which is a lot more than I expected to. So thank you guys for voting on that. We're gonna continue to post polls now and again, and hopefully that helps out the series to be a bit more interactive for you guys. So yeah, let's get into free agent signings. I actually didn't look to see who I wanted to sign, and you guys didn't really suggest free agent signings, so we're gonna have to go through this a bit slower, but that is okay, I think. I don't want to sign somebody too good because we do need a goalie, because at the moment we have Pickard, I think, is our only goalie. Let's just take a look at what we got on our roster. So yeah, we need a goalie for sure, because if we go by overall, what the heck happened to Pickard? Didn't we sign Pickard? Okay, that's weird, because I'm pretty sure I signed Pickard in last episode, and I had him at the end of last episode, but now I don't see him at all. Did I let him go? Let me check free agency, but I don't think I let him go. If I did let him go, we'll have to find 2 goalies, I guess, but I'm pretty sure I had him at the end of last episode. Now he's disappeared. It just seems kind of weird. Let's see, goalies, sort by alphabetical, and let's see if Pickard's down here. Because if he isn't, or if he is, then that's kind of weird. But we could still sign 2 different goalies anyways. It doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, I guess I did let him go. I thought I signed him last episode. Huh. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm just thinking things that didn't actually happen. But yeah, so we need 2 goalies. So that's something that we definitely need. What else do we need? I think we have a decent amount of forwards and defensemen. So center-wise, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that could play in the lineup, so that's good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys now. 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so we probably need maybe like a depth forward. We could start Lucas Raymond in the AHL as well, briefly. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Start Raymond in the AHL, and then we need to sign like 2 more players. So 1 depth guy and 1 that's actually gonna be in the lineup for a bit. And in that way, Raymond and Wall could start in the AHL. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, we have enough defensemen, but we probably will have to move Troy Stetcher this season if we want to call up Wall if he gets good enough. So yeah, so we just need goalies and then 2 more forwards, and I think then we're good to go. We're not going to send anybody too good, though, because we want to have a bad season so we could get a good pick in the draft this year. I don't even remember who's the projected number 1 overall pick in this year's draft, but let's go to goalies, and let's sign somebody that's not good. Like somebody that's like an 80 maybe, or something like that would be okay. I was thinking maybe Comrie, because he is 25 only. Montebo's also a UFA apparently. He's only 24. I don't know how he simulates. He did not play in 2021. And then there's Comrie. We do need 2 goalies. I could just sign both of these guys since they're young. Yeah, you know what? That's what we'll do. Might as well. Comrie wants 2 years, but I'm going to give him a 1-year deal. His expiry status is an RFA, which is kind of interesting. So we could keep him around as a backup for a bit longer until we get a goalie prospect in, which would be Nguyen. So let's give him 1 point. Yeah, let's just give him pretty much what he wants. We have a lot of cap space to deal with. And we'll give Montembeau a little bit more as well, just because that way we could hit the cap minimum faster, because I don't think we have yet. So those 2 goalies will be our 2 tandems. And then we need like maybe a winger and a depth center. Maybe a veteran would be okay in this sense, so that way we have at least a leader, kind of do what the Sens are doing. But there is somebody like Nick Petan who simulates usually pretty well. Might be a good fit on our 3rd line. Yeah, you know what? We'll sign Nick Petan. That's a decent signing, I think. We'll give him $1 million. He's also going to expire as an RFA. And then a depth center kind of dude. Who do we want to go for on this case? Devin Shore is 26. He's not bad either. Yeah, you know what? We'll sign him too. I think these are decent signings. They're cheap guys that could potentially make an impact, or we could flip them for better value, so might as well sign them. Okay, so that's who we're going to sign. Let's advance a few days and see if we get them, which we probably should, because I don't think there's any other teams interested in them. We'll advance through the calendar sim. I don't even know what that trade was that I got offered. And Montembeau's accepted, Comrie's accepted, Petan's accepted, and Shore is accepted. So we got all those dudes now, which is good. And I think we're gonna just do a jump cut soon. Yeah, we're gonna do a jump cut from here now all the way to the edited lines for the upcoming season. That way we can maybe sim a bit more than we did in the beginning of last season. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay guys, so here is our lineup going into year number 2. So we got Bertuzzi, Larkin, and Mantha. Pretty good first line. I think Larkin has how much years? 2 years left on his deal. Mantha we signed recently. He's got 5 years, and Bertuzzi's got 4 years. So Bertuzzi might be on his way out eventually, but that's a pretty good top line. Solid chemistry as well. Then we have Zadina, Fabry, and Hirose, who jumped up to an 82, which is nice. 3rd line, Timashev, Veleno, and Rasmussen. So Rasmussen and Veleno jumping into the lineup, as well as Timashev, I think. And then 4th line, we got Ernie, Shore, and Smith. So a good, like, grindy 4th line, kind of defensive. Jamel Smith actually jumped up a lot, or no, Giovanni Smith, my bad, jumped up a lot more than I thought he would, so he's going to be in the lineup. We're going to be starting Lucas Raymond in the AHL just because he's only listed as a depth forward, even though he is an 80 overall now. And then defensively, we've got Sider and Bear, Cholowitzki and Hronik, and Stetcher and Myers. Like I said, Stetcher probably will be on his way out this season, just because we will need to call up Wall at some point. And then as our special teams at the moment, we have, this is our setup. Looks pretty decent. I don't really care what the power play stuff looks like right now, but everybody's getting a decent amount of ice time. And then goalie-wise, Comrie jumped up to an 81, surprisingly, so he's going to be our starting goalie, and Montembeau as our backup. And then scratch-wise, we got Petan, Franz Nielsen, and Alex Biega as our depth guys, so not too bad. And then in the minors, we got a pretty good squad down here, so I'm hoping that it helps Wall grow a lot. But yeah, pretty decent squad for the most part. Let's actually, yeah, we'll change that for fun. But defensively, Wall's playing with Lindstrom, and it's a +5 overall chemistry boost, so I think that will be a very good pairing. And then there also, Wall is getting placed onto the power play, of course, and I think he's on the penalty kill. Yeah, he's also on the penalty kills, so I'm excited to see how he simulates down there in Grand Rapids. And yeah, that's basically our team. Okay, so let's stop that, and let's take a look at... Yeah, let's already take a look at the draft class, might as well. Well, actually, maybe not yet. Actually, we do need to assign our scouts, so actually we will do that. Because the scout always still scouts the worst people available, so we need to scout some specific players. And then once we're done that, then we'll start up the sim a bit. I don't know how much we're going to get done because this is going to take a bit, just adjusting the scout. Actually, the scout's not scouting anybody, so we don't even need to go down to the bottom. But yeah, I don't know how long this is going to take to do this, but we're going to probably get maybe around 30 games done. We'll see. So Shane Wright might be a good option if we are able to get a high pick in this year's draft. But if we want to go with like the EA generated guys, I wonder who's going to be out there that's going to be good. Like if there's going to be any franchise potential guys. Okay, we probably don't need to scout most of the rest of these guys, but I'm going to just scout until we get to the 50 mark. That way we at least have guys that could potentially end up being something maybe. Most of these guys probably won't make it, but whatever. There we go. Those guys are assigned to scouting. We need to assign Davies. Yeah, none of our scouts were actually assigned to do anything. So we'll assign here. Which USA was this even? There doesn't seem to be a lot of prospects in this area. I think it was like USA East or Central. Get those all assigned. Oh, a guy with the last name McCarty. Maybe we'll say that guy's Darren McCarty's son, but he's probably not going to make the NHL even anyways if we were to draft him. He's probably like an AHL top 6 or something. There you go. What else we got here? NLA. Let's assign them. There's probably not a lot of people in Switzerland. There's a decent amount, but not a lot. There's like 5 or 6 or 7. Maybe actually more than that. They're actually going to make it. There you go. But yeah, hopefully we have a really bad season, but hopefully our young guys get like decent amount of points and whatnot. Like we're playing really badly. I don't know if I want to keep Wall in the AHL the entire year. Same with Raymond. It might burn a year off their ELC, but the thing is, like, it's better than them being really bad and plus minus and whatnot, and kind of losing their confidence after how bad this team will be. Because we don't, like, we have a good top line, but the rest of our team is like more third liners or fourth liners, I think. But we do have good potential, guys, so maybe they'll assimilate decently. I know one of my friends said that they got far by 2023 with Detroit, so we'll see if our team is actually competitive by then. If so, that would be a pretty quick rebuild. And there we go with that area. Normally I wouldn't show all this stuff, but just in case you guys want to see any of the names that are in the draft class. Okay, we're in Sweden now, scouting. There's a decent amount of Swedes in this draft, which is kind of interesting, or Finns too. I would assume that Kippersoft guy's a Finn. But a decent amount of players that are actually in the Swiss, or not Swiss League, in the SHL. Okay. After this, I'm going to be recording some Be a Pro for this week as well. So hopefully my voice doesn't die on me like it's been doing. That's why I'm kind of trying to take it a little bit slow with talking in this episode, because I eventually, like, my voice gets really, really sore. QMJHL, I don't even know any players in this year's draft at all. Some of these are probably not even real. I would assume by a lot of them probably are too. Yeah, there's a lot of 19-year-olds here in Quebec. Yeah, this year's draft actually doesn't have a lot of Quebecers, it looks like, in comparison to like past years. So I guess it's like OHL and WHL heavy or something. And there we go, that's 50. And USA West, there's probably not a lot of players over there. D Cruz. Yeah, there's not a lot at all. There's only 4 guys that are going to be draft ready from that area. NHL Central, I don't care about the NHL and AHL scouting. WHL probably has a decent amount, I would assume, especially defenders. Because usually the WHL is always the #1 place for defensemen, I find. But they do not have a lot of players in this year's draft as well, looks like. Unless they're all just guys that are hidden in the late round. Yeah, a lot of these guys look like they're going to go undrafted. Oh, is that Kirby Doc's brother? I would assume so. I don't think Kirby Doc's brother has good potential, because when I was doing my roster editing, I think he has like high HL top 6, so he's probably not even going to get drafted in this. Russia. How much Russians are in this draft? Wow, decent amount. The Russians are invading the NHL draft. Okay. Eventually in this part of the video I might make some cuts, who knows, depending on how long we're into the episode when I'm talking still, so there might be a random cut after I do all this, I don't know, just because I might not be able to think of what to talk about like I am right now. I'm just stalling pretty much. But yeah, hopefully you guys are liking this series a lot so far, because I'm having pretty much a lot of fun with it. I haven't been able to play franchise mode outside of YouTube in the last little while, which is weird. Like, I don't feel like it at all. And I think that's it. Yep, that is it. So our scouts are assigned. Good. That took a while to do, but now we are good to start simulating. I think we don't need to look at the draft class till the end of the episode or even next episode, but let's start up simulating. We could also check the trading block at the end of this episode in case you guys want to suggest some trades. So yeah, let's get the preseason done. And yeah, we're going to keep a close eye on the AHL affiliate just to make sure Lucas Raymond and Wall are growing. And once they grow to being like a fourth liner and a top 6 defenseman, we'll probably stop the episode around then, I would assume, just because that way we would probably need to make some roster moves to get them into the lineup. But yeah, we shouldn't be a good team this year. We're listed as a conservative seller, which means we're kind of like, I guess, the hopeful status from NHL 20 and before that. But I don't know, we just went 5-1-1 in the preseason somehow. So we're probably going to have a bad season. Let's advance to our first game of the year. It's against Buffalo. Okay. We actually got a pretty good homestand to start off, 4 home games in a row. Let's go to the end of this month. We'll probably go till, I'd say, December the 1st in this episode. Yeah, we'll probably go to December the 1st, or maybe we go January the 1st, just so we could get a decent chunk simulated. And we're 0-4 to start the season. Good job, boys. It's probably the goaltending, though, because Comrie's not even close to an actual starter, and Montebeau's not really a backup. Ooh, let's have our worst season yet. Oh, there's our first win against the Canucks, 8-3, to end our 6-game losing streak. 1-0 win, 6-5 OT wins. Now we're winning games. We won 3 in a row after losing 6. Yeah, that's a typical simulation where you lose a lot and then you win a couple games in a row. And now we're back on a losing skid. Seems realistic. Yep, we're 3-10, so the tank is real here in Detroit. Hopefully we don't lose the draft lottery, though. Let's take a look at who's leading us in points. Mantha's got 10 points in 13 games so far, not too bad. Who's leading the AHL? Lucas Raymond's got 9 points in 10 games. I mean, he is an 80 overall, but he's listed only as a depth forward, so I kind of wanted to give him a bit time down there in the AHL to make sure he's ready, because he did just play 1 season in Sweden. He hasn't played yet in North America, so it's maybe a little chance to get him acclimated to, I think that's the word I'm looking for him to get used to North American ice. So yeah, I think I'm only going to go to December the 1st in this episode. But then this episode might be a bit short. I have no idea. Maybe I'll go a bit longer. We'll see. I should probably edit our trading block a bit, but I wanted to see how we would simulate first. No, I do not want Justin Falk. I don't know why we're getting offers for veterans and giving up prospects. We should probably adjust that. And now we're on a decent winning streak, and we're almost back to 500 somehow after starting the season off so bad. 9-11-1. 9-1-1. Last few games, Ottawa and Florida. Our loss and a win. 3 games left. We lose to the Canucks. Ethan Bear has been injured, and that's not too long term, so that's okay. We'll put in Alex Biega. We lose badly to Toronto, and game against Montreal to end the month, we lose 5-3, and now we're 10-16-1. Hmm. Okay, I think I'm not going to sim much more than that. It's 27 games in. Dylan Larkin's over a point per game. He's simming really well for a team that shouldn't be that good, or isn't that good. Where are we even in the standings? Oh yeah, right there. Near the bottom of the Atlantic. Sens are just a point behind us, and Montreal only 2 points behind us. Yeah, we're tanking pretty well so far. Should we sim more? Because that edit lines cut would probably have been like 5 minutes. So, let's sim another month. Just because I want to get the best out of our young guys down there in AHL before we know if we need to call them up for next episode or not. And because I really don't know how long this episode is, because like I've been recording for 25 minutes, but I've had to make a couple cuts probably, so it probably isn't that long. Okay, so Ethan Bear's back, which is great news. He's one of our top defenders. There you go. I like that Mort Sider's growing. He's an 84 now. Like, he might end up being a pretty high up top 4, or he might just stay around an 84. I don't know how he grows in franchise mode because I've never had him before. Game against Pittsburgh is another win. This team is really strange in the simulation. Like, we lose a bunch of games, then we win a bunch of games. Like, it's very inconsistent. It's pretty similar to my Dallas Stars franchise mode from NHL 20, because the team was literally back and forth a lot. And it's not good. Bertuzzi's been injured with a hernia till January the 13th, so he's out for actually a decent amount of time. Let's put in Petan, maybe. Yeah, we'll put in Petan over Nielsen, so Nick Petan, you could play here, maybe. Does he work on our top line? Not really. He's more of a second liner. How about Hirose? He actually works best on our top lines, so we'll swap Hirose and Petan. Because usually Nick Petan, at least in real life, is a decent depth forward, but he doesn't really get much of an opportunity to play. And now Dylan Larkin's been injured till January the 1st, so we'll throw in Franz Nielsen. Damn. 2 of our top guys going out in back-to-back weeks, but we're still right around 500, which makes no sense. Like, we're over-simulating. I don't know if it's our goaltending or what. There you go. 18, 19, and 3 at January the 1st. A lot better than I expected us to be simulating. Dylan Larkin's still over a point per game. We have 39 points. The worst team in the league has 29 points. So we could definitely still tank. But let's take a look at our player stats so far for the season, as well as the trading block and the draft class, because I think we definitely need to start maybe making some deals to offload some of these guys that are simulating too well. Maybe not necessarily like Larkin and Mantha, but other players. Because Larkin, 41 points in 37 games. He's been really well, playing well, that top line especially. Mantha's got 40 points in 40 games. Bertuzzi's got 29 points in 35 games. Fabry 28. Fabry's actually been pretty solid. I forgot he was an 85 as well. Rasmussen 23 points. Zadina 22. Okay, pretty solid all around. Veleno's already got 15 points, and he's not even horrible defensively. The fourth line's been out for the most goals, it looks like, at the moment. And yeah, that's that. Goalie-wise, wow, Petan's got 4 points in 5 games. 3 goals, 1 assist. And then saying goaltending-wise, Montembeault has been really good. He's 7-3-1 with a 907 and a 3.10. Like, he's been allowing goals, but he's been winning games, while Comrie's been losing games. That's kind of weird. Let's take a look at the AHL briefly, just because I'm curious on Wall and stuff. Lucas Raymond's almost point per game. He is listed as a third-line checking forward, so we're going to have to call him up for next episode. Definitely, and that means we're going to have to probably move somebody from our lineup or from our scratch, so we could send down Franz Nielsen. Svechnikov's playing pretty good as well, and he's actually almost NHL ready. Suzuki's been playing pretty solid. He's still at 74. Wall's got 20 points in 35 games. He's been pretty good. He's listed as a top 6. Now he's in 81. So we're going to have to call up Wall and Raymond already for next episode, which is great. Both of them have been really well, even plus-minus wise. Wall doesn't even take much penalty minutes either because he's an offensive defenseman, but I'm really liking his play so far. Wow, he actually has almost as much takeaways as he had giveaways. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, Wall and Raymond need to come up, which means we're going to have to probably send down somebody, or we're going to have to probably trade away Stetcher next episode, and we're going to have to find, or probably send down Nielsen, I would assume. Let me just check goalies for fun. Yeah, the goaltending has been great down there as well. Okay, let's take a look at the trading block quickly, just because we are going to have to find a trade for Troy Stetcher, potentially. Something that we could go after just because we need to make room for Tristan Wall to jump in. So let's look at the trading block, and then also you guys could suggest who we should be putting on our trading block in next episode. So there is all these young guys. I don't know how much value Troy Stetcher really has. I could actually do a fine trade thing and see what we could get for him. But our trading block isn't edited right now. We don't want anybody too good. We just want probably a prospect. Not that Stetcher has the most value, but he could probably bring in somebody. Yeah, there's some decent young guys out there that we might be able to deal for. Or if we want to bring in a veteran, we can, but I don't think that's worth it to an extent because they'd just be a depth guy for us. I mean, this team is around 500, but I would rather go into the rebuilding state again. Philip Broberg, but he's got a lot of value. Yeah, I might do the fine trade option after this, even if our block hasn't been edited, just to see what we'd have to, or what we could get for somebody like Troy Stetcher. Just because I am kind of curious on what he could get us. Probably not much, because he's listed as, I think, as a high top 6. So he probably doesn't have a lot of value. But if there is somebody out here on the trading block you guys want me to trade for next episode, let me know. Because a lot of teams seem to be wanting to flip their young guys, which is a good thing. For us, at least. Not for them. San Jose has a lot of bad contracts still that they're trying to move out. Okay, that's almost it. I wonder who's going to be the Stanley Cup champion in this season. Geez, JT Miller. It's pretty good, but a lot of trade value. Marc-Andre Fleury. And Washington, there you go. And Winnipeg. Okay, so let's take a look at what we could potentially get for Troy Stetcher, even though I don't think it'll be accurate right now, because their trading block hasn't been edited. But let's go to defenseman and see Troy Stetcher. Where are you? Let's sort by alphabetical because he'd be near the bottom. Yeah, he has like barely any value. And no trades found, so we'd probably have to actually edit our trading block. But yeah, I don't really know what we could get for Troy Stetcher. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know, because we are definitely going to have to call up Wall for next episode, because Wall is looking really good. And obviously I would like to call him up to the NHL right away, because he's had a successful season down there already at 18, so he's already probably one of the best Polish players of all time. Okay, so let's take a look at the draft class quickly. And then that'll be it for this episode. Oh man, I didn't mean to go to draft board, god damn it. Yeah, this episode might be a bit long, but you guys wanted longer episodes anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's see what we got here. So this guy I don't think is real. Liam Ladine is supposed to go first overall, a power forward potentially. I know Shane Wright and Brad Lambert are real. Same as Savoy. A defensive defenseman, huh? Supposed to go up there. But yeah, I'll just scroll through this a little bit, like through the first round. Wait, what flag is that? Is that France? Because if that's France, we should be like building like a really multicultural team or something. Be kind of neat. And yeah, that's basically who's supposed to go in the first round. Let's just actually take a look and see if there's any hidden potential guys. Leonov might be elite. Doubt it though. Any low elites yet? Nope. Do we have any gems yet discovered? Probably not. No, we're too early in to tell. Okay. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode. So in next episode, we will call up Lucas Raymond and Tristan Wall, and we're also going to have to be making a couple trades to get our young guys into our lineup. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I will see you guys next time.